Now, nobody ever comes out and says this, but it goes like this. The alcoholic in your family, in your life, or if you are one yourself, is 100% responsible for their own sobriety. They're responsible for their sustainable sobriety. They're responsible for the awareness that they have a problem, and they're responsible ultimately for doing something about their issue that they have in their life. As a family member, and this is more of an Al-Anon kind of video, you have to realize you didn't cause the pop problem, you didn't create the problem, and you're not exasperating the problem. You aren't the problem. The problem is the issues that the alcoholic has to realize and take care of. They have to understand the origins of why they're drinking, okay, and accept the problem that they've created in their life and the problems that they're creating with everybody in their circle. And they need to do something about it. As a family member, yes, of course, you can create boundaries and assist them and help them, but ultimately it falls on their shoulders. They are the master of their destiny, no matter what you do as a family member. Understanding that will help you with your own guilt and shame and anxiety as a family member, and hopefully help them with theirs. And the thing is, this is so true for any disease, okay? If you have a food issue and you're overweight, if you have a gambling issue and you have financial issues, if you have a drug issue and it's affecting your health, your productivity, and your relationships, if you have cancer, there is some culpability there. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should have stopped drinking or smoking, okay, for 20 years. Maybe you shouldn't smoke 3-4 packs a day. There's a thought. Alcohol can also cause cancer. If you have heart disease, maybe you shouldn't eat those, McDonald's fries 7 days a week. I mean, there is culpability in any kind of disease. Specifically with alcoholism, being aware that you have a problem, accepting that you have a problem is the first step. You can't go any further than that. Family can create boundaries and make you realize that you have a problem. And if all you're doing is making them the problem and not taking any culpability or accountability, you're in deep doo-doo. Okay, I mean, to put it bluntly, if you don't have the ability to realize that you have an issue and that everything is copacetic and fine and you're not bothering anybody, you're not hurting anybody with your actions, well, you're living in la la land. Okay, because we affect everybody around us, and if we have a behavior that's unbalanced, to the point where it's affecting our own health and our own mindset and our own productivity and our relationships. We have to be aware of that, and we have to take actions on that. As difficult as that can be, you got to start somewhere. You got to start with, what? The man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror. I have a problem and I need to do something about it to save myself, to save the people in my life that I love. And this has to happen long before you get into the later stages, because when it's affected your health and your brain, you're in deep doo-doo. So this is really a video to cut through all the BS, because everybody will, there's so many different ways to gaslight. It was my family when I was growing up. It was my parents. Everybody drank in the family. Okay, here's the thought. Move to a different state. Make it a priority. People complain about maybe the group therapy that they go through. They don't like AA or whatever group therapy they're going to. Well, go to one that resonates with you. Apply yourself. You have to apply yourself. You have to change your experience. And you, as an alcoholic, are responsible for that. Nobody else can make you do anything. Okay, you have to want it. You have to want it. Okay, and as a family member, you can't want something more for that person than they want it for themselves. So you can't fix somebody. You're not going to change somebody. You can only explore your position and expound your position onto that person so that they know where you're at. So maybe they will react with your boundary. That's all you got. Okay, because waiting around for rock bottom, that's not a very good way to go, because rock bottom can be somebody's death, quite frankly. It can be the end of their life, and going to jail, and losing limbs because you got diabetes, or losing your brain. I mean, that's not a rock bottom. That's past rock bottom, and you want to get it before that. You want to have the awareness long before you get to that. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps. Because if you cut through everything, culpability and accountability is really, at the end of the day, all that matters. If you can take a hold of your life one day at a time, don't overthink everything, work on the origins of why you're drinking to begin with, accept that, move on, grow from it, and evolve by applying yourself in community, in counseling. I mean, you'll get a hand on it. Okay, eventually you need to separate yourself from the alcohol. As simple as that sounds, the longer that you separate yourself from the alcohol, the better your body is going to repair itself, your mind is going to repair itself, and you will come back to planet Earth in reality. Hope that makes sense. Again, I have a complete coaching program. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. Link is in the bio. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. We do a deep dive into what's going on with you and your family. The call is free, the course is not. I'm looking for people who are committed to change their life and the lives of their family. And that's what we do, is I've helped thousands of people. And again, thanks so much for listening.